So, our next guest, he's going to talk about something that also has to do with free speech quite a bit, the Uhuru case. As we all know, the Uhuru were unlawfully prosecuted for basically being anti-imperialist. And you all know our next guest, gentleman from Chicago. From Chicago! How you doing, John McCarthy?
Okay, a couple of months ago, the African People's Socialist Party issued a new book. Except it's not really a new book. They reissued it. This is the testimony from the First World Tribunal on reparations for African people in America. And this took place in 1982, and there are a lot of very convincing arguments in here, documents and testimony, about how the United States government is committing genocide and about how reparations are deserved, right? But it doesn't matter whether these arguments convince you or not. What matters is that the Chairman Omali Yeshitela and the African People's Socialist Party are convinced. And since 1982, the chairman has been traveling all over the United States and all over the world, making this case to anyone who will listen, and even to people who would rather not listen. Right? But Joe Biden has some very smart detectives working for him, and he figured out that all of this is actually a big Russian conspiracy to sow dissent in the United States. And the ringleader, they found out, is this gentleman here, Alexander Ionov. And his birthday is actually in a few days. He was born December 12th, 1989. Now, if you're like me, you spend way too much time on social media. And you probably run into a lot of these vote blue, no matter who people. And they have a new slogan. Their slogan is, Joe Biden deserves more credit. He's not getting the credit that he deserves.
He's not!
Well, yeah. I hate to admit this because they're really annoying. But they actually have a point.
You invented time travel.
Because, oh, you're still lying. Because yes, China, they have trains that go faster than airplanes. And Russia, they've developed missiles that can change direction at hypersonic speeds. But Joe Biden, yes, Joe Biden, he has discovered time travel. Now, obviously, they don't believe this nonsense, right? They're not worried about who told Chairman Yeshitela to say this. They're worried about what he's saying. And the specific thing that they mentioned in these indictments is that the African People's Socialist Party and the Uhuru movement wrote articles and released videos where they said that the special military operation in Ukraine is actually a defensive action by Russia, right, against colonialism, and that by standing up and fighting back, Russia is defending not just itself, but the entire global South. They want to make it illegal to say that. That's what this case is all about. That's why it's so urgent, because guess what? That's the message that we're putting out, right?
Yeah.
And it's absolutely true. Because Russia is winning that war, politically, economically, and militarily. That is giving courage to anti-imperialist nations and movements all around the world to finally stand up. What we see happening right now in Palestine is occurring because they saw Russia winning, and they saw that the imperialists can no longer back up their threats. And we have to give that message to the American people. They don't know it, because just like it's giving courage to nations around the world, if the American people know it, it's going to give them courage to stand up and throw off imperialism. So I'm not going to talk long. I just wanted to say that I feel very grateful for the role that I have been able to play in creating solidarity between the Uhuru movement and the Center for Political Innovation. Because in my 50-something years on this earth, I've been a part of a lot of different campaigns and movements and organizations, and they're all a little bit different, but there's some constants. And one constant that has remained is, I hate the FBI. We're not supposed to have a political police in this country, but that's what they are.
Yeah.
And I don't like what they did to Marcus Garvey. I don't like what they did to the Nation of Islam. I don't like what they did to Paul Robeson. I don't like what they did to the Christic Institute, to the LaRouche movement, or to the Teamsters. I don't like what they did to Rod Blagojevich and to Chicago aldermen. I don't like what they've done to people who I don't even like.
Yep.
But I hate what they tried to do to Caleb and to the Center for Political Innovation. And I hate what they're trying to do to Chairman Omali Yeshitela, the African People's Socialist Party, and the Uhuru movement. And if I can create a collaboration between these two organizations and thereby strengthen each of them a little bit so that they have the strength not only to survive the FBI attacks, but to judo them into victory,
Yeah.
then that is like a double fuck you to the FBI. Actually, it's more of a fuck you squared. And I'm enjoying every minute of it. So onward to victory, to a world without colonialism and without imperialism and without the FBI. Uhuru!
So, I couldn't let you step down without saying a few words.
Okay.
Okay, because, you know, I don't know if folks remember, but a couple years back, or was it a couple years, about 1 year back, right? About a year back, we had a convention or conference in Chicago.
A year ago.
And I think that people who went to that conference, and it was smaller than the conference we're having today, I'd say. It was, about 75 people today, and we had a small conference in Chicago. But that conference, the raid on the Uhuru house happened about a week beforehand. And so I got on the phone with them, and I invited them to come to the conference. And they came, and we had also, at that conference, we'd already planned, we bought a nice plaque, and we gave an award to Tara Reid, who you just saw speak. Right? And, so we had the conference, I got blackmailed and I got threatened. We want you to cancel the conference, was explicitly told to me on the phone multiple times. And we didn't cancel the conference. We did it anyway. And that conference, I think, has changed the course of history. Because at that conference, Tara Reid met the Uhuru movement, right? And Tara Reid, because of her life situation, has connections to prominent media personalities like Tucker Carlson. And Tucker Carlson covered the Uhuru case on national television because of Tara Reid producing it. And on top of that, Glenn Beck also did segments supporting the Uhuru movement because of what happened at that conference. And in addition to that, Nick Brana attended. Garland was there. He was there at that conference. Nick Brana attended that conference and talked with people. And I think that you can say that that conference we did in Chicago had a lot to do with Rage Against the War Machine that happened that spring. That conference was pretty pivotal. But I also want to tell you another great thing that happened at that conference. Was a guy named John McCarthy came to the conference and liked what he saw, and he joined this organization. And he has done so much. We appreciate all the work you've done. You're amazing. So thank you for everything you've done. Thank you very much. Thank you.